Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video of Flavia T. This is literally like the most different video I've done on my channel. This is an exercise video, leg day routine. As you can see right now, I'm doing my dynamic stretches. Wow, English is really free, Flavia. What's going on? My dynamic stretches. Dynamic stretches should be really used as part of a warm-up routine before any athletic event. It involves the active tightening of your muscles and moving your joints through their full range of motion throughout the stretch. These functional and sport-specific movements help to increase muscle temperature and decrease muscle stiffness. Guys, that's literally one thing that I bet you guys didn't even know, so I'm happy that I was able to share that with you. But yeah, doing dynamic stretches at the beginning of your workout is so important in terms of making sure that you can reach the full potential in regards to the full range of motion. I typically do dynamic stretches for about 5 to 10 minutes just to make sure that I can actually activate my muscles correctly. I do not want any injuries for myself or for you, so please make sure that you conduct the dynamic stretches. For every exercise or stretch that I do conduct in this video, I will be leaving the name of the actual exercise on the screen, as well as how many times I'm doing it, how many sets and how many reps I'm doing it for. This has got to be one of my favorite dynamic stretches, simply because I love being able to have a deep squat in any exercise that conducts squatting. So I literally just do squat motions for 5 to 10 reps, making sure that I try to go as low as possible each and every time. Top tip, guys, make sure your knees are bent when conducting this exercise because you don't want any injuries. Next, we're moving on to my second favorite exercise. The hip openers is what I actually like to call it. Again, I will leave the specific terminology on the screen, but this helps me open up my hips, again, to help me have a deeper squat. I do this for about 2 to 3 minutes, making sure that every time I go to both sides, I can feel my hips opening every single time. As I mentioned, these exercises help open up your hips and help you have a deeper squat. I mean, the goal here is to have a deeper squat. Am I right? Once I've finished my dynamic stretches, I'm literally ready and geared up to go and start my first exercise. Can you guess which one it is? It's RDLs. I love RDLs so much. RDLs is probably one of my favorite glute targeted exercises that I really actually enjoy doing. Right, as you can see, I'm bouncing my legs a little bit just to make sure I have a great distance between them. Slight bend in my knee, and I'm shooting my hips back as I'm lowering the weight. I do not move the weight away from my legs. I make sure that I'm basically rolling it off my legs. That obviously helps in regards to correcting your form and keeping it aligned the whole time. The most important thing to realize here is that this is a glute focused RDL rather than a hamstring focused RDL. To be able to distinguish the two is that I have a more of a bend in my leg. I'm going to pause the video so you can see which one I'm talking about and where you can find it. If you wanted to target your hamstrings a little bit more, you'll have a straighter leg, but this is primarily a glute focused workout. Now let's change the angle. As you can see, I'm still shooting my hips back, making sure that my chin is tucked, which helps keep my spine straight. Guys, this is one common exercise that I do see a lot of people conducting it a little bit wrong. They always make sure they try and see themselves in the mirror. Guys, you look absolutely amazing. Just make sure your chin is tucked. Then I went on to my superset, which is a sumo squat. Guys, this was a killer. I did it in between my sets of RDLs. So as you can see now, I'm going back to my RDLs, and then I'm going to be going to my sumo squats. Guys, if you really want to test yourself and push yourself to that next limit, I highly suggest you do supersets. That will literally make or break you. And it definitely broke me after this session, by the way. I went to go and check out what Bay was doing. He was doing chest. I think this is called chest flies or something like that. I'll put the correct name on the screen. But I wanted to show you guys that men are actually working out in the gym in my set, and this is absolutely the perfect representation, the perfect setting to see that the breathable essentials t-shirt that I have on my clothing brand makes sense. Next exercise, whilst I was waiting for someone to finish in the machine, I decided to jump on the leg press. I am doing just over 40 kg, including the actual machine weight. The reason why I'm starting off slow is because I had a leg injury, a foot injury to be precise. So I need to make sure that I'm keeping the weight very low, but I'm still training in high intensity. But the reason why I say high intensity is because I was going for more than my designated reps, which was 12. I went for about 15 reps. And as you can see, Bay came over to give me some encouragement, some of his wisdom words, just to make sure I keep going. Guys, you can tell by my face, I was honestly over it. I was about to move on to my next exercise, which is the glute machine, but some guy was staring at me and I was just like, no, I'm not doing it right now. Anyways, I went over to the pull-up machine. Guys, one of my goals this year is to actually be able to do a pull-up by myself. So I was like, you know what, babe? Can you help me? Can you actually help me do a pull-up? I tried with all my mighty strength in my body to try and pull up myself, and I just couldn't do it. I need to really focus and knuckle down on being able to pull myself up without someone helping me. So that's definitely one of my main focuses this year. Like, you can literally see how much I'm struggling here. Like, guys, this is so embarrassing. Oh my gosh. But I was still persistent, and I still made sure that I kept trying to do the pull-up with Bay's help too.
However, some train services will be affected as we make improvements to the railway. The work will be happening from the 27th to the 29th of May. So,
shortly after I had finished doing my pull-ups, Bay went over to do his triceps. Guys, that's a king right there, doing out his tricep. A lot of men actually don't do their triceps, you know. No shade, no tea, but yeah, that's literally him just performing his triceps exercises whilst I spectated for moral support. Then I had a little chicken wag with the boys, but I went straight back into my next workout, which was lunges. I was listening to Secret Lover, guys. Banger! I went over to do my lunges. I was doing 5 reps coming towards the camera and 5 reps going away, which equals to our total of 10 reps. I did 4 sets of these. I do want to point out that, as you can see, I'm leaning my torso a little bit more forward. This targets more of your glutes more than your actual quads. So that's one thing I wanted to actually point out. When I'm walking back, you can see I'm not completely straight. My torso is slightly leaned forward towards my knee to make sure that I'm targeting my glutes as much. As you know, this is a glute focused workout session. So I did about 4 to 5 sets of this, doing 5 reps each way, which equals to 10 reps. This workout personally is a hit and miss. Sometimes I love this workout, sometimes I do not like this workout. So it kind of depends on how you feel about the lunges workouts. But yeah, make sure to definitely include these. This is an isolation one as well.
Listen, after this, they're finished. I'm practicing for when we go together. Dame.
This workout is an isolation workout. Isolation meaning that you're working on one leg per rep. Lunges are a perfect isolation workout. Isolation exercises are those used to tackle one specific muscle group or joint in isolation. One benefit of doing isolation workouts is that if there's a specific area which needs greater attention, whether due to an injury or underuse, then isolation movements are more ideal as it helps target that specific area on that specific muscle group. Ultimately, it's very important to establish what your goals are when planning a workout. Function or aesthetics? Do you want to increase your strength and performance, or are you just looking for a great summer body? It doesn't matter, as long as you know what exactly your goals are. To finish up my leg day exercise, I then move on to static stretches. Static stretching has a relaxation, elongation effect on muscle, which increases ROM, which is range of motion. It also decreases muscular tension, stiffness, and also reduces the risk of muscle strain and injuries. Static stretches are very important to do before leaving the gym, guys. Before leaving the gym. This really will help you in the long term to avoid any type of injury.
You don't do it justice from this angle. It's gotta be
Gym beast always.
from the side.